My name is Bakhtawar Sohail, and today we have Miss Alveena Waseem with us. She's an assistant professor at English department, and we are going to interview her and ask her questions related to the impact of family support system on the lives of professional women. Firstly, we would like to thank you that you are gracing us with your presence and you took out some time out of your busy schedule. We are really grateful for that. Hopefully, you're doing well.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Shall we start the interview?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Could you please briefly introduce yourself?
Well, as you told, my name is Alveena Waseem, and I'm here in FC for the last 14 years. So, first, when I started off, I was in the intermediate section. Then, after updating my education, I moved into the university side. And since that time onwards, I am here. I am teaching linguistics major and the other courses that the English department offers.
Okay. So, how was your childhood as a female and what role does your parental support play?
Actually, this is a huge question when you ask me. Reason is that I belong to a family where everybody is working and everybody studies. So for me, to be born as a female, it didn't matter. Like if I was born as a male, it would have been
There
equally
was
the same.
equality.
Yeah, absolute equality. Actually, a bit edge was given to the females because everybody loved the presence of daughters in the house, and we were all three sisters.
Mashallah.
And my father was a scholar, a writer, a professor himself, and a very renowned professor. And I am from Peshawar, so people knew him, and there's a very small literary circle that he had. So it would be open all day long. So I never saw that we would be alone with our father. There would be poets, there would be writers, there would be most of the time Sufis also sitting with him. And my grandfather was also a scholar, a writer. My uncles, both of them were scholars, writers. My aunts were scholars, writers. All of them have been writers, writing books. So we were very minute part of such a huge cosmos of writers and scholars. Having said so, it put us into, especially me, into a pressure to learn, to be someone.
So, you, mashallah, had a good environment around you.
Oh yes, absolutely. It was like a heaven, and I never felt that I needed to know something or to go to someone to know it. Everybody was
You already
there.
had people who would teach you about
So
good things.
everyone from every field.
Yeah.
So I never had this, and everyone was writing. The best part was like a library. So there were books all around us. Whatever book we would like, we would take it out and would look at our parents and our fathers and our uncles and our aunts. Whichever book they would be studying, we would ask them, "Okay, what are you studying now?" And they would guide us. Okay, this. So go ahead. We would do that.
Okay. So, technically, your family played a very positive role in your career.
Yeah, there was no question of sitting back
Yeah.
at home. So when you were there, like my sister was a doctor, she was becoming a doctor. My younger sister was a mathematician. So there was no question of not studying. We had to study. There was no other choice, and we
Everyone
had to do
had a
it.
positive impact.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
this is positive.
So, were there any specific reason that why you chose this profession?
There is no reason for this because I didn't know anything else. Like my parents all for a 800-year history I have of people in my family, fathers, grandfathers, and their fathers and their fathers. Everybody was a teacher. So
Or you could say you were impressed by your elders when you
So-
saw them growing.
it's like it's in your veins. Nobody
Yeah.
taught me to teach, So
Yeah.
I chose this inadvertently or automatically. I had to be in this. So
So,
that's how
do you think that, do you believe that teaching stereotypically associated with female as it often perceived as a predominantly female profession?
I thought it was so, but I started off my teaching career from institute for O levels and A levels. So there I felt that there was a majority of the teachers, female majority of the teachers, and the male part of the teaching facility or faculty was not interested in what the female teachers were doing, teaching, or undergoing a training system. It was a very, very rigorous training system that I went through. So every other day we were going through some training, going through some teaching process. So this is I received absolutely rigorous and strenuous teaching exercises, practice, and training that shaped and molded me as a better teacher. Because there I was also academically sound, because they offered me a course in UK, so I completed that course. And when I came after my course, I was given some higher level courses and some curriculum development as well, and then I realized I was much better equipped. But yes, you are right, the male faculty took over the job because they were kind of using this as a springboard, to enter into any other job or any other arena or any other career. So this is one of the reasons that I realized later that men don't come into this field, considering that it is not that highly paid. Secondly, it doesn't have that prestige attached to it, being a man. This is what I realized. This has been happening in this field. Otherwise, now when I look around in those institutions which are paying their teachers so well and highly, there are now leading amount of men also teaching there. Now I think this has been shaken.
These are
this belief.
just some norms made that only this teaching career is not well paid or something like that.
It wasn't well paid, but with the mushroom growth of this elite educational institutes, they pay you a lot better, actually highly.
Actually, there was a transformation over the years.
Probably there was.
Yeah.
So
The
the more
styles
commercial
and
education gets, then the more there are more demands for the people who produce education or students. There is a demand for them as well.
Yeah.
So they are highly paid.
Exactly.
And then they demand well also.
And obviously now education is given more importance nowadays. And back in ages, education was not given much importance. And teachers.
No, I don't belong to those ages like where education
but
was
if
not.
we have heard about that teaching and education was not given that importance and significance in our lives. But now education is a very big part in our life, and it plays a very big role in our life.
I don't think in my days also there was something like that. It was just that some careers were thought to be for men and some for women. And that's how it was taken, and that's how people used to take it. Be that educated or not educated. It didn't matter that way.
So, in your experience, have you faced situation where your work demands conflicts within personal commitments, and if so, how did you approach resolving these issues?
So you're asking me that my work at some point conflicted with my
personal
life.
Yeah.
No, it never did.
As you told, you had a good background of studying and everything. Everyone was good with it. No one had any issues with that.
Yeah, but when I had my children, at that time I wasn't working. I made sure that it didn't work, because it took me some time to realize that I have to, raise them to that age where they are able to go to school along with me. So that's when I started doing my job.
But that was your own decision, right?
That's my own decision. That had always been my own decision.
Yeah. That was for your own children. You took
Yes,
that decision.
Yes, and I had realized that nobody else can look after or take care of your
Nobody
children
can.
unless the mother herself does it. Well, I feel that even fathers can't majority of the times because
Mothers
they
are
pamper
mothers.
more.
Mothers are mothers. No one can take care of the kid.
Yeah. So it's like I needed to be there with my children.
So, okay. So, what challenges did you believe female face in their workplace?
Well, according to what I have experienced, and with the grace of God, I did not undergo those challenges. But what I see around and I have seen is that majority of the women do face a lot of challenges in the work areas,
Workplace.
in their professional lives, and also in their homes.
Personal
Like
lives.
in their offices, they have to undergo a lot of challenges posed by the other faculty members also, by the new student lot also, by the
Yeah.
demands and challenges of the ever changing curriculum, and they have to be abreast with what is going on. So I think this is what they have to compete with. It's like a competition that they are in. But when you take it as an interesting activity, then it is not
A difficult
falling
aspect.
on your nerves.
Yeah.
It's not nerve wracking. Otherwise, it can be. It can be really tasking. But if you take it as your, life, like I take it as my life,
Don't take it as a job. Take it
no,
as
yeah,
like
it's a
fun. Take it
it's
like a hobby or something like
it's a
you want to do.
passion.
Something you want to do.
I think it's a passion.
Passion.
You if you are not a passionate teacher, you're not a teacher. You're just there to hold on to the career. So I've never taken it as a career. Probably now when I think back as to is this a career to me, then I think no. Like my husband is a businessman, so he's never understood me going on doing a job. So he's always wanted me to do my own business.
Yeah.
But I don't take it as a career. That's what I normally tell to everyone. And this is my passion. If I'm not teaching, and if I'm not teaching, I will be teaching, one way or the other.
Yeah.
So I've never been into
your
anything
passion.
else,
Yeah.
and I don't want to either.
Yeah. It's your passion. Yeah, I
Because
didn't
it's a
found the right word, but exactly, it's the word passion
yeah.
that shows that it's not about the job. It's about the
No.
passion. It's about your ambition, what you want to do in life.
Yeah, I mean, that's what my passion is.
Yeah.
I don't even want to do anything else in my life
Yeah.
also. So I'll be teaching. Even when I am retired, I will be teaching. That's what I've seen my elders doing, all their lives. So, like, I have seen my mother opening up a school in my village
Mashallah.
after she got retired. She goes there now. She can hardly travel, but she does go and have a look at the school, meets the young girls and all. So it's an all girls school also. So it's to give back what you have been doing and trained for. That's what I have learned.
Give back what you have learned your all life.
Yes.
That's what you have come here to serve for.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
So, do you think women in Pakistan are more susceptible to bullying and challenges, and are family or societal pressure contributors to it?
This is what I have noted, that in Pakistan, to be a woman is like a crusade. I mean, you get up in the morning, and the time you go back and lie on your bed, the whole day is a crusade. Regardless of how old you are, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
So, having said so, I mean, hats off to all the women, to girls, to young girls, to children also, who lead their lives here in any field, in whatever they do. When I come to my university, set off early in the morning or whatever the time is, on the roads, even while driving, I face bullying. Through driving, they have a discourse
Yeah.
of the traffic.
Although women are distinguished, are they cannot drive. They're always,
You see,
whatever the situation,
I can see the smirks.
they're always
I can-
told
yeah.
they're given the looks that they cannot drive, although they are driving well.
So
They're just labeled like
I
that.
believe, and I normally say that the women have become yogis in Lahore and Pakistan. So do you inhale?
Yeah.
And
You just have to
inhale
relax.
to breathe deep, and
Yeah.
so this is, I mean, it's normal routine.
Just relax.
Yes.
Just go with the flow.
So people like this, they're everywhere. So you have to determine it yourself.
Yeah.
What's your limitation, and when you set your limitation, they'll know not to cross that.
Exactly. So, what advice do you have for those difficult facing? So sorry. what advice do you have for those difficulties women face, like in their day-to-day lives, whether in their workplace, whether on the roads or wherever? As you're saying, when a woman is driving, they're given looks and all the things. So how do people cope up with it? How to tackle those things, actually?
Okay, so when you have set your targets in your life, like this is what I'm going to do, and that's how I'm going to lead my life, and this is what I'm going to achieve. This is some high ranking thing to do, and not majority of us do that, to set targets. But majority of us should do is set a standard for ourselves. That is that your self-respect comes first,
Yeah.
and other things later. And you,
Exactly.
second thing, which is the most important thing, is you will not get another life. This is the only life you get, so make the best of it. Don't spend weeping, don't spend repenting, don't spend a single tear, do not shed a single tear on what you did and should not have done, or what you lost. Life, you lose every second of it, so just make every second the best for you.
It's about prioritizing things in your life respectively.
See, day to day life changes.
Yeah.
The priority that I might have yesterday might not be today. So you need to have that flexibility also.
Yeah.
Women have more
That's why I
flexibility.
said respectively, day to day or
Yes.
year to year, like over the time.
Absolutely.
Like you have to prioritize.
So
things.
women are more flexible in regards to everything. The more flexible you are, the more unbreakable you get.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that's how it is.
So, could you walk me through your typical workday routine? How do you prioritize and manage your responsibilities between your professional and personal life?
Okay. So when you say my personal life, what do you?
Like as you said, you have kids. So how do you manage it?
So the first thing what I did was to, when I started doing job, I realized I need to do job with a very clear mind, with a very, very peaceful inner me with me. So for that, I have certain helpers who are going to help me
Yeah.
with different chores.
Exactly.
I don't want to put myself into that. Now, particularly when I'm doing my PhD, even before that time period, when I was not doing PhD, I had to complete and read and finish a book, which I would set for myself as a target to
Yeah.
read and complete. Or I had to learn a language, like I completed my Persian and all that. So for that, I wouldn't have time to give majority of the time for certain chores. So I don't do chores, house chores, no, for a very long time now. For which I realized it's better to pay there and then get yourself a lot of time
Yeah.
to do some meaningful work.
Exactly.
So this is what I had been doing. So that's the balance at my home.
Okay.
And in here, I love being at FC. I love to interact with students. I learn from them a lot. Actually, it's from students I learn more. So every day is a learning day for me as well. In every class, there is learning for me as well. I don't know they learn or not. I learn a lot. So that's what I do.
Within your professional network, have you observed any common factors contributing to work-family conflicts among colleagues?
So the common conflicting
Yeah.
problem? Uh, hmm. See, I don't think there is. Probably lack of communication. If you want to say something, or if you want to have a say in something or your opinion, you should convey it to that place or to that person.
Communication. You should actually communicate.
Yes, it's
You should
good
not
to
keep it to yourself. Just communicate. Just let it
it's
out.
always better to communicate.
Yeah.
Not let it out, like it could be in a bad connotation as well. So I think it should be communicated in a very positive manner.
Positively.
Because let's think that you live together with other human beings as well. So they might have their own options, they might have their own way of thinking. So try not to conflict with anybody, live and let live. That's
Yeah.
my policy. Because otherwise you are not
I mean,
able to
I
survive.
you should just give your opinions and you should tell what you think about specific things. Like you should say what you think.
Be democratic
Yeah.
in your approach, you know,
Don't
in your
just think
thinking.
that your opinion will not matter. Just give your opinion, no matter
Yes,
what. Yeah.
yes.
So, in your opinion, are there any significant differences in how men and women are treated in workplace?
Um, you see, we are in a profession where men and women are treated equally, on probably on the amount of the ability and the tasks that a person performs, rather than a gender. Because this is a profession where your ability speaks, where your competence works for you, rather than a profession where you have, in the managerial post, or a CEO, where the glass ceiling effect is there. It's not here. I haven't seen that happening. If anybody is getting the share that person demands or needs, it's because of the competence that person has. I think in education, the profession of education, this doesn't happen. There is no discrepancy in this
Because
profession.
everyone is served and everyone is treated according to their abilities.
So you get what you deliver. It's how you deliver, what you deliver, you will be paid highly, and
Yeah.
everybody respects that.
Hmm.
That's another good thing about education
Yeah.
profession.
So, considering the importance of family within Pakistan culture, how do you believe the dynamic influence the work-life experience of professional women?
Again, probably I'm the wrong person to answer this question, because even everybody knows I'm
Yeah.
working, and everybody has now realized that if she's not working, she'll die or fall ill.
No.
So they are happy when I'm not working. There are days that I
Yeah.
am not working, sulking, or maybe enjoying, or maybe just sitting back. They'll be saying, "Are you all right? Are you okay? You're not reading.
Yeah.
Should we get you something?"
When something is out of unusual, people do ask that is everything okay?
So that's my. So probably
Yeah.
I'm not the right person to answer you this.
Okay. So over time, family structures and needs can evolve.
Yes.
Exactly. So have you noticed any changes in the nature of work family conflict you experience as your family dynamic have shifted?
No, not exactly. It's like, people age. Okay. The problems age also.
Yeah.
When they age, their problems age. They're also weak. So you
Yeah.
don't have to be that strong to face them.
Exactly.
So
Very good
nature
point.
does it work.
Yeah.
It works. You don't have to do a lot of work in that. So let nature handle the things. It will evolve according to what you are,
Exactly.
and it will shape the whole surroundings according to you, if you have that passion.
Yeah. If you stick to what you want to do in your
Yeah.
life.
So there is a word in Arabic, it is called Jew. Jew, which is also used in just the Jew.
Oh.
So it is the Jew, the khwahish, or the passion.
Passion.
So God is going to create the whole world for you if you are following a passion.
If you want to do something, Allah will make way for you,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Readers.
Yeah. So, what coping mechanism have you implemented to effectively manage the inherent stress associated with work-family conflict?
Again.
You
So
don't
the
have to
problem,
add, yeah.
my problem is that I never feel stressed because of my work.
Work.
I take it as my passion. My first and last love is
Yeah.
my work. So how can you be
But
stressed by your
is it that sometimes
Yeah. Okay, I get you.
like
So there are certain things which I take up. I love to paint, so I start painting. I love to paint on the poetry, the Persian poetry. I like to paint that with other miniature arts or whatever art form. The minute the painting would get, it depends on the stress level. So if I feel, of course, not from the like I'm undergoing the stress of my PhD. So if I get this stress, the more it gets, the more minute my painting would get. But it is good. It helps. Or else again I start reading some poetry, some poems, some novel, to get me out of that stress of PhD, not
Yeah.
teaching. I've never been, with the
Stress.
grace of God, while teaching.
I like for as a student, when I am stressed, I cope up like I do calligraphy, and I do read books.
Yes.
I put my headphones, I play a very soft song, and then I read my books.
This is cathartic.
Yeah.
This has to be done somehow.
And
One way
people
or
ask
the other.
me like, why don't you get up and walk and do something else instead of reading books? I'm like, I'm okay like this. Leave me alone. Leave me alone for 4 to 5 hours. I'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
Just don't disturb me.
Yeah.
Like they think that reading books can make you tired. It doesn't. It never does.
Probably it would make me look like an old school person, but that's how it is.
Yeah. So, in your career, have there been instances where you felt compelled to prioritize your work obligations over family commitments?
Over family commitments? No. There have been family commitments, but I manage them. Like
It's about the management, how you
Yes,
manage things.
Yes. So
Yeah.
it's like we have a very large family. So we have to go back to our village as well. So whenever, God forbid, somebody dies, because it's a sudden event, so I had to inform here, or I do that, and then I take up the classes. So make up for that loss, or otherwise, there is no huge issue out of it. Like I do manage.
Yeah. So, drawing on your experiences, what guidance would you offer younger Pakistani women on their professional journey to achieve a sustainable work-life balance?
I mean, again, to not to take their careers as just careers where they're going to be financially rewarded. Take it as a passion, something that you love to do, because you have to live with this thing the whole of
Exactly.
your life. So you should live with something which you love, which you like to do. It actually, a profession molds a personality as well.
Exactly.
You become that. So make sure that you choose a proper profession which you would like to see yourself in, molded in it after a long period of time, if you are still alive.
Okay, a question just popped up in my head. Today I had social class, so we studied about socialization. So in that, sir told us that personality is a product of social interaction. So what is your point of view on it?
Absolutely. I believe that we are shaped by what our careers are, or by what we have been living into for a longer period of time. It shapes us.
Yeah.
The way we talk, because teachers are supposed to be role models, isn't it? So when you know this, and you live with this pressure that you have to be a role model in walking, in your gait, in your way you talk, in the way you deliver, in the way you read. So you are always role modeling. Now the problem arises that this role modeling has to stop when you go back home. You are you need to put an end
Yeah.
to. So I think the more you are in education career, the more you are in it, the more humble you get. You don't need to get it onto yourself
Yeah.
as to we are something. You need to be more humble. There is this saying that the more you know, the more quieter you become.
Exactly.
So that's how it is. So the more you are acknowledged, the more humble you should be. So nobody should be able to know what you are or how you are. Especially, I think this is what cuts the balance. You had asked so many questions related to it.
Yeah.
So your humility cuts the balance. Nobody wants to see who you are back in your
Exactly.
family, in your in-laws, or in
Exactly.
your... Right, in my own family, everybody knows. Like, they are very proud of the fact that what I do, as I am taking the ancestral profession. So they're happy. We actually own a library also, which is our ancestral library. So they have agreed to give it to me because I'm the only one in this profession. The rest are not. So yeah, it makes me more humble. The more authority, the more acknowledgement you receive,
The more humble you become.
you
in your
should
life.
become.
You should. You should.
You should
Yes.
not be intimidating for anyone. You should not be a red color for anyone. Not
Exactly.
alerting.
Okay, so finally we are done with the interview, and I really had fun talking to you. And thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Thank you very much
Same
once
here.
again for giving me this opportunity to take interview of you, and this was a beautiful exposure, and for this learning. And thank you very much for this learning experience.
Thank you
And
very much
I
for
really
calling
love
me
talking
here.
to
I
you.
also happen to know so many things which I hadn't even thought of while teaching. But thank you very much.